Today I've got special guest Francine Honey, and she's going to talk to us about her special CD called To Be Continued that has a whole lot of great releases on it, including the latest, I believe, called Space. So welcome to the show, Francine.
Thanks so much, Kelly. It's great to be here.
Hey, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today and dive in, especially your music videos that have really been impressing me. But first of all, I want to talk about where you're from. I hear you're from Ontario, Canada.
I am. I'm from the southernmost point of Canada called Leamington. It's right on Lake Erie. There's a little point there on the map. It's the southernmost place you can get in Canada. So, yeah, I look at the lake. It's wonderful.
Well, you got this great description. I think a reviewer, when they were talking about your style, they said you were a mix of Americana, country, rock, the blues, and Canadiana.
Yes,
isn't that a great
it's really
term?
hard. Yeah, well, there is no, how do you describe Americana in Canada being Canadian? I kind of call it North Americana, maybe. But, yeah, it's kind of hard to describe or define the kind of music that I write. So I think Americana really is the closest to what I'm doing. Yeah,
well, there's been such an explosion of Americana because it's a blend of several genres with country, folk, but it seems, too, that in Canada, at least, according to my research, you do have some connections to, Appalachian music. It seems like there are certain links to Canadiana and maybe some of the American folk music.
Yeah, I agree with that. I am a bilingual, French Canadian, so I actually have a couple of singles that are very, French Canadian, Appalachian kind of Scottish. There's all of that influence there. Very, fiddle playing and foot stomping and all that kind of fun stuff. I enjoy that kind of stuff too.
Oh, sure. Well, that really comes through in your music, the different, I think, love of different genres. That's part of, I think, what makes your album fun is that you get a really nice selection of different types of songs on it.
Well, thanks.
Oh, sure. Well, so Nashville, is the mecca, for country, and it seems like, you chose Nashville to record this in. What was special about going down to Nashville and working with your producer, Neilsen Hubbard?
Yeah, I've done a lot of songwriting workshops. I worked in the Canadian federal government. I have my degree in computer science and mathematics, and I quit my job about 6 years ago to do songwriting full time. And when I write a song, I hear the whole thing, and I even see the music video. I just hear all of that in my head. And I did a couple of albums, and when I took about 4 years to really find the producer to work with. And I was doing a workshop with Gretchen Peters, and I really love her Blackbird album. And so I was talking to her about, who she had working with her on that, and she really suggested that I reach out to Neilsen. And so I did that, and the minute I heard some of his recordings, I thought, oh my gosh, that's exactly the sound I hear for my music. So it's so wonderful to find a producer that has the sound that you're looking for. And man, what an experience it was. I wanted to record music. The first two albums I did, it was to tracks, so we had the drummer come in and the bass player, and they laid down those tracks. And then at the end, I was doing my vocals. And for me, I kind of felt like I was singing karaoke to my own songs, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So with Neilsen, when I met with him, I said, hey, I want to get your posse in the studio, and let's just see what these guys will bring to the songs. And that's exactly what we did. Almost every song on the record is the first take. There's a few where it was, the second or third take, but Space is one of those where it was the very first take of us doing the song. So that to me was magic, and I really think that comes through in the album. I'm really, really proud of it. And it was to me, that's, you're making music, you're making magic happen. So it was great.
Well, it seemed like taking such a big break in between albums, this was worth the wait. Like you really wanted to elevate yourself on this.
I did, but you know what, Kelly? It was killing me because, you're writing and you're writing and you're writing, and you really want to share all of those songs with the world, and it was really tough to wait. And now there's a backlog, so I've actually already gone back down to Nashville and recorded 6 more songs with Neilsen, and then I'm going back in September to do some more. So it's fun. I love it.
Well, you're prolific. And also, besides being prolific, you have another really cool name you worked with on this, Beth Neilsen Chapman.
Yes. Beth has been a great mentor.
Yeah, because she, obviously has quite a reputation already, but you featured her on your single, Snowflakes on My Eyelashes.
Yes. I did the songwriting workshop with Beth. It was the very first workshop that I did in Nashville, and she really did, and I know this, everybody says, oh, she changed my life. Well, when I first started on this path, I thought, oh my gosh, how can I call myself a songwriter? I've been writing songs since I was 12, and I have a bunch of them that have finished later on the bottom, and I thought, wow, how can I really call myself a songwriter? So I met Beth at this workshop a few years ago, and every workshop she's put on, I've gone to see her, and I used to sing in the choir as a soprano, and people would always say to me, when you're singing more in your chest voice, it's kind of like you have this restriction. And so I worked with a bunch of vocal coaches and spent hundreds of hours working on my posture and my breathing and hold yourself this way and hold yourself that way. And Beth spent 5 minutes with me and unlocked my voice. So that, for me, was one of the biggest gifts anyone could ever give me, because, if you listen to my first album and my second album and you compare that to now, you'll see there's a big difference in my voice, and I really have Beth to thank for that. So, yeah, she really has been such a huge mentor to me. And when I was recording Snowflakes on My Eyelashes, I thought, oh, she loves doing harmony. And, so she agreed to come into the studio and record some harmony on that song. And I think it's just absolutely beautiful what she did. So, yeah, pretty cool. So she's been great with me.
When you were there in the studio and you looked over and you saw Beth Neilsen Chapman was actually singing on your song, how did that make you feel?
Oh, my. It was pretty surreal. And also, working with Neilsen, he's been nominated for a Grammy, and he's, the fact that these people are there singing and helping me get my music recorded and out to the world is a pretty huge gift. I really have no idea how I got so lucky, but I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for having found these people, and it just takes asking questions and doing research and being brazen enough to ask, and if they say no, okay, that's fine, but at least at my age it's kind of like no regrets, right? I don't want to have any regrets. So, it was pretty surreal.
Pretty surreal, yeah. Well, it sounds like this is the right place and time for you, because it sounds like you did put your music on hold for a while. You raised a couple kids. It sounds like, and you did a lot of things expected of you. What's it like to be able to come back to it? Because a lot of people, they never do come back to it. Why do you think you came back to your music?
I really took myself on a little trip when I was 40 and thought, maybe that was my midlife crisis trip, but I really thought, okay, I really, being a divorced mom, raising my kids on my own, I really just couldn't not do it anymore. I think that's more where I got to. I was just finding that every day going to work was just such a struggle. And so I downsized. I lived in this, really cheap apartment and saved my money and just started writing, because at that point my children were gone off to university and college. And, I just thought, okay, well, just give it a shot because, again, if you don't, you're going to have regrets. Looking back, I would have probably done this when I was in my 20s, than doing it at my age now, in my when I left my job in the government, I was 47. So I'm going to be 55 this year. Oh, my gosh, I have no idea how that happens, but I'm pretty pleased with, I'm really enjoying my life, and sometimes I kind of feel guilty for that, but other times I think, you know what, I worked really hard, and like I said, I downsized where I was living. People would come over and say, can't you afford a better place than this? It's like, well, yeah, I can, but I also, I have this crazy dream that I'm going to quit my job someday and write songs, and I never ever thought it would, I'd have these beautiful videos or I'd have, these wonderful recordings. I never ever thought that it would bring me here. So I encourage you to just take a step, and you never know where it's going to lead you, which is why I named the album To Be Continued. So,
when you finished To Be Continued, what was the nicest comment or feedback you got from your kids?
Oh, are you trying to make me cry, Kelly?
We're getting a little sentimental here.
Yes. Yeah, well, it doesn't take long for me to go down that road, I tell you that much. I think, well, first of all, my son said, oh, Mom, I can't listen to you sing Honey, because it's way kind of, I don't think of my mom that way. And then, I think they're very proud of me. They're really supportive. They, they're like, Mom, you're living your dream finally. You did such a great job raising us, which, of course, as a mother, I certainly don't think I did a great job raising them. But to hear that from them, and then to hear them, because they're in my songs, right? Like Mamas Take Bad Dreams Away, really is a true story about my son. And they're in my songs. They've been there, obviously, through all of that, and they're very proud of me, and they're very supportive, and so I have great.
Sounds like they're proud of Mom.
They are, yes. We have a very good relationship.
Well, you have something that's kind of interesting. I want to talk about the videos, but since you mentioned the kids and songs you've written about them, you had something really interesting on your site called Songs for You. Is that like where you write personalized songs for people?
I do, and I love doing it. In fact, that's how I got my start doing this again. I wrote a song for my dad called Come Sit in My Chair. My dad's a barber, so he was celebrating his 50th anniversary of being a barber. And so I wrote him a song. And, well, then, of course, my mom's birthday was not far after that. So I wrote a song for my mom, and then I wrote a song for my children, and I wrote a song for my sister. And so then it just became a thing where every thing that I would be going to, a birthday party, retirement party, funeral, it'd be, well, can you write a song for that? And I get so much personal satisfaction from writing a song for someone for whatever special event might be happening in their lives. And, so I do that, and I've written songs for organizations, I'll go and play it for them, if I'm close by, and it means a lot to me to be able to do that.
Has that really helped just your overall songwriting? It sounds like you're very disciplined when it comes to songwriting.
Yeah, I've developed a questionnaire, actually, that I send to people, so I'll email it to 3 people that know the person that I'm writing the song for. And, and I use the words that they give me, so it's actually from their friends giving them this message, and I write the music to that. I try and be disciplined with my songwriting. I try and be disciplined in a way that I write regularly. And, I still have all these songs that have finished later at the bottom. And, I'm hoping to have some space in my own calendar this summer to get to some of those. So, I try and be disciplined. But it's, life gets in the way sometimes, and you really just have to make it a priority.
Now, this songwriting workshop you were mentioning, is this the one that you actually drove from Ontario to Nashville to get to every time?
Yes. Yep, I do. From where I live, I'm an hour south of Detroit, which surprises a lot of people that I'm in Canada, but I'm south of Detroit. So it is a 9-hour drive to Nashville from where I am. So yeah,
So talk about a commitment to songwriting. So just to get to this songwriting workshop is a 9-hour drive each way.
Yes. Or sometimes.
So if you're going to talk to. Oh well, okay. Private jet.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh no. I
so
wish.
if you're going to talk to people following their dream or getting into songwriting, and a lot of people make a lot of excuses. It must be hard for you to hear people make excuses to follow their music dreams when you're driving 9 hours each way to a songwriting workshop. I mean, how do you, if you're going to talk to a young songwriter wannabe who's 20, has all the time in the world, all this energy, and yet they're making excuses, how do you just go to the core and say, look, what's your number one piece of advice to them?
I would say most of the time excuses are born out of fear. And, it takes a lot of courage to put yourself in front of someone and say, tell me what you think of my song. It takes a lot of courage to get up in front of an audience and sing your heart out. So I would say figure out what's driving your fear and figure out if that's more important than you living your dreams, than you singing your songs to people, than music gets people through life. And, I think if you're doing it for money, that's the wrong reason. That's probably the advice I would, and I do give, because I do have a songwriting group here in Canada that I run. And, even if you can't drive to Nashville to go to a songwriting workshop, with technology now, there's just so much available. I mean, you can have a video conference or a co-writing session with someone or get feedback from someone online. So, work on your craft. Write good songs first.
Write good songs first. So people who have heard your story or gone to your website, what's the best feedback you've heard from someone who has said, you've inspired me, Francine?
Yeah, I just got somebody the other day post something like that to me, that I'm an inspiration to them, and that that really is the reason that I put myself on the internet, because I could just write my songs and not put them out to the world, but that's not really why I'm doing this. I think that music will help you get through life, and I have certainly had my share of struggles in life, and I hope that by my telling my story through songs, that people will feel like, hey, I'm not alone. Someone else has been exactly where I am, or I can really relate to that thing that happened. So that's
country music in general. Obviously, it's a genre that gets people through a lot of bad relationships and breakups and heartaches.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you don't have to answer this one, but because you're so good at these personal questions. But what's been some pretty heavy that music has gotten you through?
Music has gotten me through my divorce. My husband suffered from mental illness. We discovered that quite a bit later. And, music has helped get me through everything in life, actually. Even when I don't want to clean the house, best thing I do is I put my music on. It just changes my mood, right? So, but yeah, I mean, music has helped me get through every down part of every struggle that I've been through. And writing has been probably, I think writing is better than therapy. It has been my therapy, my way to get through life. And, so yeah, I think that for me it's helped me definitely get through my divorce. It's helped me get through, losing people. My brother-in-law died when he was 32, and I was 30 at the time, and that was a big shock to our family to lose someone so young. And music has helped us all get through that. So
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
And along with the tougher times, it also helps you celebrate the good times.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing like Little Red Corvette or, putting on some, okay, I'm aging myself. I love 80s music. And the Rolling Stones and,
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
also have some little upbeat songs, even, stuff you can dance to on your album. Little, what is it, Shacked Up Sweetie has a little step in it.
Yeah, Shacked Up Sweetie's really fun. So is Honey. Open Road is, there's some pretty cool, I don't write all somber music. Yeah.
Now, your latest release is called Space?
Yes.
So what kind of life experience would that match? What would you play that song for? What kind of mood would that get you into?
I would play that for anyone who has a really full calendar, which I think is most of us nowadays. I remember when I worked for the government, always saying, well, hey, I wonder, I got to make space in my calendar for that. So I think that this song I actually wrote after I had retired from the government, quit my job in the government. And I shouldn't say retired because I certainly have not retired. I am still a workaholic. I'm just doing it in a different way. So, yeah, my calendar was always full, and I was in Switzerland with my Shacked Up Sweetie, and he was at a conference, and I thought, I'm just going to come along. I'd never been to Switzerland before. And I was sitting there at 3 a.m. in the morning. We were actually near this church in Switzerland called St. Jacob's Church, and there the bells of the church would ring every 15 minutes, and then every hour it would have a special ring. It would be even longer, and then on Wednesday morning, they would have a different ring. And so these bells were ringing every 15 minutes, 24 hours a day. And when you're not used to that, it wakes you up at night. So I would get woken up every 15 minutes pretty much, and instead of going back to sleep, I would still think about all the things that I had to do. And I wrote this song as a reminder to myself and to others to try and find space in their lives for themselves. This week was just a week for me to just be me. And I think we all need that. We all need time to just get away and just be. So
Absolutely.
kind of what the song's about.
Well, this is inspiring stuff. And before we wrap up here, I just want to make sure that everyone learns where they can find you online, and especially hear your music and watch your music videos. So, where's the best place to find Francine Honey online?
You can go to francinehoney.com. I have a website, and there's links there to everywhere, my Instagram, my Facebook. I have a pretty large Facebook community, actually, and I do a lot of Facebook Live sessions there and post a lot of videos. Obviously, all my videos are on YouTube as well, but francinehoney.com is probably the best place to find me.
And can they buy your music on your website too?
Yes, they can. Yes.
Okay, one-stop shopping.
Yeah, one-stop
Cool.
shopping. Yes, I have T-shirts and all kinds of stuff on there. So.
Well, you always got to go for the merch. Hey, I also encourage people to, take any link to your YouTube videos because you're prolific. What'd you do, about 7 videos from this album?
Yeah, I have a video for every song because I decided not to tour with this album. So instead of touring, I decided to do a music video for each and every song. So there's still 3 more left, 3 more videos to be released. So I'm releasing videos every couple of weeks. And coming up in the fall, I'll be releasing my new music as well. So lots of fun.
Well, I'm going to blow your horn for you and tell everyone that your videos are amazing. I think they look great, and I'm going to give you the last 60 seconds to tell everyone what is the key to making a killer music video.
I think the key to making a killer music video is to try not to tell the story exactly, and to work with someone that has the same vision that you do. Again, Neilsen Hubbard, who produced my record, also produced my videos, and him and I have a real synergy. We share the same mindset in when it comes to expressing the song, and lots of times he'll say to me, "Oh, well, let's not tell the story exactly, but let's make sure we capture the spirit or the feeling of the song." And I think, in Space, I think they did a really good job of capturing that.
And for your fans, what's the name of the next video that you'll be releasing?
The next video that I'm releasing is going to be I Wish, August 17th.
Okay, you heard it from Francine. She's got a date and a song, so I'll be there. I encourage everyone to check out your back catalog. And, hey, I've really enjoyed talking to you, Francine, so let's just look for new music from you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kelly. Really appreciate it.